We know this from all of the polling that Dr. Anthony Fauci is the most trusted voice in this country on the COVID pandemic. So why would the president say this as cases are surging? Listen.
Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election. I appreciate the advice.
Fact is, he does not have the power to do that. Regardless, Dr. Fauci was unusually unrestrained this weekend over the U.S. response to the virus, saying you could not possibly be positioned more poorly. Just remarkable. Joining us now is infectious diseases expert, Dr. Amesh Adalja. He's a senior scholar at Johns Hopkins University Center for Health Security. Dr. Adalja, good to have you this morning. I guess we should grow used to now that the president attacking the experts, particularly in the midst of the pandemic here. So let's focus on the facts, if we can. We had Dr. Reiner on last hour, and he said in terms of what can people like you and me in our communities do to respond to what are the facts here, which is a growing pandemic, he said masks, that if we all wear masks enough, we can avoid the more draconian shutdowns. Is that true in your view?
I do think it's true. This is a simple common sense measure that allows people to kind of freely move about without the fear of this virus. It's something that we've developed a lot of data over the pandemic showing that there are many people out there who don't have symptoms or don't have symptoms yet and can yet spread it to other individuals. And what a face covering does is prevent you from infecting others, and it probably also protects you because if you do get infected with less virus and have less severe cases. So this is one way to avoid what's happening all over Europe right now, and I think we just have to embrace it. I think this is the way to save our economy and to move through this pandemic.
Take a look at these shots, if we could. I bring them up to you because it's where you're from. These are images of the crowd at the president's rally on Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. Tightly packed, few masks, despite the campaign saying we hand out masks, but they're not mandating it. When you look at the numbers, 50,000 Americans in the hospital this morning with COVID, and you look at these images where you are from, if the president wins a second term and does not do an about-face on large gatherings and masks, where will we be headed with COVID?
We're going to be headed to a very, very dark place. Now, I live about my parents live a quarter mile from where that rally occurred, and I could hear the roar outside from stepping out my parents' door. So this is something we're really worried about. There's a small community hospital in that area, and they're already getting more and more cases. So we're worried what's going to happen to my hometown in the next 10 or 14 days. And I think this was a really irresponsible rally, and I think it was something that I didn't want to see in my own hometown. So it's really that one has kind of hit me personally, because I know some of these people, some of my friends are going to get infected and going to get sick from this rally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Regardless of the outcome tomorrow, the pandemic is going to stay with us. That's a fact. If you had 5 minutes with either the new president or the re-elected President Trump, what recommendations would you make and say this has to be done now to save lives?
The first thing that needs to be done is the CDC needs to be restored to the driver's seat. They need to be running this public health response. They need to be speaking to the American public every day, and they need to not be handcuffed by any kind of unreality that the president is living in. So we have to get the president to actually face the facts and realize that he cannot wish them away, whether it's President Trump or President Biden, and that we have to do the tried and true public health practices, testing, tracing, isolating. We need to be able to test much more. We need to be able to get people to be contact traced, and we have to get people to start taking these common sense precautions we mentioned earlier, wearing masks, and we have to cease all attacks on expertise. So that these deplorable comments about Dr. Fauci just really, they're kind of beyond the pale.
We appreciate you, Dr. Adalja, being here very much, and I'm just very sad to hear that you think because of that rally, relatives and friends in your hometown are going to contract COVID. I wish there was much broader mask wearing at these events and less people packed in so tight. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.